Hey guys, do you have stubborn credit card debt and you're struggling to pay it off? This might be the video for you. In this video, I compare the top 3 balance transfer credit cards currently available in the New Zealand market. These cards are great for anyone looking to reduce their interest bill and clear their debts quicker. Balance transfer cards allow you to move your existing debt from one card to another, often with a promotional period of low or even 0% interest for a fixed time. It's like hitting pause on interest, giving you time to catch your breath and get on top of your debt in the second half of 2023. Credit cards are great for earning rewards, buyer protection, and in case of emergencies. However, we need to be mindful they are very profitable for the banks when the balance isn't paid and start generating interest. Getting your balance down to zero as quickly as possible should always be prioritized, and using some of the cards I cover in this video might help you kick your stubborn debt. Without further ado, let's get into it. The first balance transfer card is the ASB Visa Lite card. This card is a personal favourite of mine as it has no annual fee and a super low interest rate of just 13.5%. If we compare this with the American Express Airpoints card, which also has no annual fee, it charges a whopping 22.95%. In addition to having no fees, ASB also offers a 6-month period of charging no interest for balance transfers. What that means is that if you have a credit card balance of $2,000 with another bank's card, you can bring that balance over to ASB and pay no interest for the first 6 months. After that, you'll have to pay the standard 13.5% interest, so make sure you have a plan to pay off the balance by then to avoid paying any interest. According to ASB, your balance transfer can come from non-ASB sources. Take a look at your card, and if it has any of those listed here written on it, there's a good chance it would be accepted. Looking at the list, this covers most of the main cards including Visa, Mastercard, American Express, and a few consumer cards from Gem, Q, Warehouse, Flight Centre, and Farmers. In addition to the balance transfer benefits, the card also offers 6 months interest-free on purchases over $1,000, and the ability to link up with Apple, Google, Fitbit, and Garmin Pay. In addition, ASB are currently running a promotion offering $100 in countdown vouchers for new sign-ups that spend over $500 on the card in their first 3 months of the card opening date. However, do be wary of this if your focus is to do a balance transfer. Your goal isn't to try and be crafty with rewards, but to rather clear your debt as quickly as possible to avoid paying interest after 6 months. For more sophisticated users, this might be a consideration. With all this talk about paying no fees and no interest, you'll be wondering how the bank makes money on this card. The bank is essentially betting on you using the card like you did your last and not making the repayments required to wipe away the debt. This would allow them to charge their 13.5% interest rate after 6 months on the balance transfer balance that you haven't paid by that point. Or perhaps you'll even withdraw some cash from an ATM as a cash advance, earning them an even greater 22.95%. And if you continue to spend, they're hoping that your balance grows as you continue to use the card. So to avoid making the bank even more money, make sure you have a plan to pay the whole balance transferred before the end of 6 months to avoid paying any interest. Also avoid using this card for any purchases if it will get in the way of you meeting this milestone. That is the key here. The second balance transfer card is the ANZ Low Rate Visa. While the ASB Visa Lite offers just 6 months interest-free, this card offers a low 1.99% rate for 24 months, or about $20 a year for every $1,000 in balance transferred. This makes it a great choice for those who need a bit more time to repay their credit card balance, while paying a relatively low interest rate that is likely much lower than the rate charged on the original card the balance transfers from. Any balance outstanding after the 24-month period is then charged at a rate of 12.9% per year thereafter. And just like the ASB Visa Lite card, ANZ's Low Rate Visa also charges no annual fee. Like ASB, ANZ also offer balance transfers from most other non-ANZ New Zealand cards, as you can see here. However, this card is a little bit more restrictive as their website doesn't mention having the ability to transfer from the Warehouse, Flight Centre, and Gem cards. You can also link your card to Apple, Google, and Fitbit Pay and get access to ANZ's Go Money app to oversee your balances. If you use this card for cash withdrawals at an ATM, be mindful that the interest rate is currently 19.95%, which is substantially higher than their standard interest rates. So we know that ANZ makes money through their charging of interest on this card and miscellaneous fees if you need a replacement card or don't make minimum monthly repayments. But there's something really sneaky that may not be so obvious, and that's the allocation rules. The first card we covered, the ASB Visa Lite card, allocates your card repayments to the highest interest rate debt first, which in the case of a balance transfer would be the cash advances and purchases made using the card. This is in your best interest to keep your interest costs as low as possible. ANZ, on the other hand, does the opposite. When you make a repayment, this goes towards the balance transfer first, which, as we covered, has an interest rate of just 1.99%. Purchases made using the card and cash advances are upwards of 12.9%. Until your transferred balance is repaid in full, your repayments will not be going towards your transactions on the card, and they will be charged at the full rate of interest. To avoid making ANZ even more money, this card is best suited for simply eliminating your balance transfer debt as quickly as possible and not making purchases until it's cleared. So whatever you do with any of these balance transfer cards, pay off the balance you transferred first before thinking about even spending. So first we covered the ASB Visa Lite card, which offers an interest-free balance transfer for 6 months. Second, we looked at the ANZ Low Rate Visa, which offers a low 1.99% rate on a balance transfer for 24 months. The third and final card we'll be looking at is the Westpac Fee Free Mastercard. Just like the other cards that I've covered, this one too has no annual fee and can easily be integrated with Apple and Google Pay. In terms of its balance transfer benefit, it offers an annual interest rate of 5.99%. While the ASB card offered no interest for 6 months and the ANZ card at 1.99% for 24 months, why is Westpac so high? The reason for this is that the rate will stand until the transferred balance is fully repaid. So if you have a large credit card balance with a non-Westpac provider, an interest rate above 6%, and you expect it will take years to repay the balance, this might be an option to consider without the pressure of 6 to 24 months before normal interest rates resume. The good news with this card too, unlike ANZ, is that payments are first allocated towards charges, interest, purchases, and cash advances. So you can repay the highest interest debt first. So any purchases using this card will be charged at 12.9% per year, and cash advances too at 19.95%, the same as ANZ. On the fees side of things, Westpac waives many of the fees that are chargeable on their more expensive cards, such as the foreign currency and additional card fees. Westpac don't make specific mention about which cards they accept a balance transfer from, but broadly mention store cards, hire purchases, personal loans, and credit cards from other financial institutions. This is the broadest coverage of any of the cards covered in this video, and honestly, it's too bad mortgages aren't on this list because that rate looks pretty good about now. And lastly, the card offers buyer protection in the form of CardGuard, which has several security measures to give you peace of mind when using this card. So, which card is best for you? That is a decision you'll need to make yourself. I've outlined the main features of each of these cards, and I recommend you look at the website for each of these cards to find which best fits your needs. I'll include a link to each of them down below in the video description. As always, please make sure to use your credit cards wisely, as all credit card debt is payable at some point down the line. You want to always aim to fully repay the balance at the end of each month, or as soon as you can, in order to avoid fees and interest charges. These can easily get out of hand if not used properly, so make sure you meet with a registered financial advisor to get the right advice for your personal financial situation. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please make sure to subscribe down below to keep up to date with all my future content in the personal finance and investing space. Feel free to also leave a comment if you have anything to share. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to catching you on the next one. Cheers.